Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. Uh, I will just introduce myself and what I'm talking about with you today. So my name is Laurent Sittler. I'm Microsoft 365 architect and I'm working for a group. This is an international company, uh, specialty with council and expertise around all of Microsoft 365 services. And actually, I'm a Microsoft MVP too. So, what is the subject I want to talk with you today? It's mainly about SharePoint and the analytics different kind of tools. Maybe some of you already know how SharePoint is working. You can have some information about the site usage. So, I mean, you can have some information about the usage of your sites. You can have a maximum of 18 days of information about unique viewers, site visit, etc. And you can have some additional information about the site page, post, documents, the most used open documents. You can have some insights about mainly the devices currently used by your user. And finally, some information about the shared information with external users. So that can be really useful if you want this, but sometimes you want maybe more information. Mainly to be sure that your user adapt correctly your environment. You can for sure have additional information directly for each kind of page that you have in your SharePoint site. Um, as same as the global site usage, you can have 80-day information with page view, per viewer or unique view, an average, and a traffic in the period of time. This is really useful just for an oversee and a high level of information about how your SharePoint site is used. But sometimes it's not enough. So this is exactly what I'm just saying here. Sorry, the presentation is in French. I just missed the wrong presentation, but exactly the same information. Um, you can have an alternative of Microsoft 365 information, mainly for SharePoint. One is Google Analytics. Google Analytics, for sure, you have a lot of information that you can have as same as Matomo, but this is something that you have only in SaaS solution. You can have a self-hosted server, and you have a lot of information linked to Google, and moreover, maybe some trouble with the GDPR and privacy of information because you are just moving on information from one environment, what is one Microsoft, to Google directly. So that can be tricky and sometimes complicated for some of organization to deal with this kind of both environment and the security and privacy of information. For sure, Google, it's free, for sure. You have a lot of users that's using it too, and you can have a lot of information, but it can be quite tricky to connect directly to Google to be able to have more report at the end. So that's something that you can do quite easily because if you made a self-hosted information, you can easily take the information directly from the database and use this data directly from Power BI report. So even if the Matomo information dashboard is not enough, you can expand this solution to Power BI. So my point today is not how you can browse data and consume this data. My point is how you can add Matomo directly on SharePoint Online or SharePoint 2019. So you can only do this through an SPF fixed solution. This is an extension that you can install directly from your wall tenant. So that means you can enable it for the all site collection that you have in SharePoint Online environment or SharePoint 2019. And this kind of solution can directly install through the SharePoint interface or the command line. For sure, SPF is totally free. If you are using an extension that's free, my solution is totally free and open source, and we will see it together just later. And for sure, if you are using your own Matomo server or Matomo SaaS instance, you can easily try to test and expand all of your needs and KPI that you can just include directly. So for sure, because you are using Matomo, you can manage the retention of your data. So that means something is really better than Google for sure. and you can expand the report as I mentioned with, for example, Power BI or something else. And for sure, Matomo is open source too. Matomo, before I create this kind of extension, maybe some of you already know how SharePoint Classics experience works. So it was quite easier to include some scripts and some capabilities of SharePoint page or SharePoint collection. So it was really easy. But now with the modern extension, you can't edit previously, let's say, the master page and edit directly the content and just save it for everyone. This is something quite more complex or more structured. It depends on how you can see that. But for my part, I'm pretty convinced this is a good thing that avoid a lot of tricky development that anyone can do without expertise or administrator. So that's almost everything. So just how it works. So as I mentioned, you can have you have as a prerequisite a Matomo analytics server with Tag Manager feature module enabled. You can have the online solution, that means the SaaS, or on premises, so that means a self-hosted solution. This is one of the most prerequisites. For sure, you need a Microsoft 365 environment. That's totally correct. And on your tenant, you need to deploy the features, the extension on modern site collection or the wall tenant directly. And you can do this directly from the Microsoft SharePoint UI or through some PowerShell or any kind of scripting bash. What else? Or rather than mention, you have the classic experience solution still working if you are a version of SharePoint 2019, yes, but this is not a recommendation. If you are using the SharePoint 2016, you're still on the classic experience. So that means you don't have to take information about the SPFX. You can directly include the script on your master page or your different kind of template. It works very well. But if you are on the modern experience, that means the modern experience began on SharePoint 2019 and the online, you should take this part in mind. Matomo Tag Manager for sure. You can have different kind of project that I'm working on to be able to take and get some information about your SharePoint site. So about the global information, this is it. So during my presentation, this is mainly a demo rather than just some theoretical information. So first of all, I don't know if anyone have any question before I begin my demo. No one? Okay. Let's do it. So first of all, because this is this is not a currently my solution is not a preview one. It's mainly a private earlier one. So if anyone wants to test it, I can just contact me, and I will be able to share you the package that you can directly install and deploy on your environment. No repository is available yet, but I hope I will be able to share the world repository before Christmas this year. That means everyone should be able to use this solution to use directly Matomo Tag Manager on their SharePoint environment. So my solution is not just focused on Matomo, but is focused for any kind of tag manager solution that you can find on internet. Matomo for sure in Google, but in the next few months, maybe I will add a different kind of tag manager if someone just suggests some other things. So this is not really tricky, such as a solution. This is an ESPFX extension. As I mentioned, because the solution is compatible with SharePoint 2019. That means this is the oldest version of SharePoint framework. I can go ahead more than the 1.11 version of SharePoint framework, because after that, the SharePoint framework is not compatible with SharePoint 2019 anymore. So this is why this is an older version. So I mean, it is working with Node.js 8. And I recommend if you have any kind of desire to go ahead with SharePoint on premises, You should just take in note that you have a lot of constraint about your environment of development and not exceed the maximum of Node.js and SharePoint framework version, because after that you will not be able to deploy and install correctly your solution on the environment. So in the fact, it's not very complicated now because I already built it yesterday, so I hope I will not have any kind of it's not GUP server, but the GUP there. Sorry. There we go. So normally everything should be okay. That's okay. It's loading. Load debug. Okay. So what I want to do here is I will split my screen directly here. I will take this one. Yeah. I will check if everything is already working now or if I have something. Not yet. This is correct because I'm in preview. So what I have to do first of all, because this is a tag manager, I have to extend the capabilities of a debug mode. So I just go ahead with this. It's quite tricky when you are in. It's not here. Sorry. Matomo. That's it. At the end of the URL, go ahead. That. So normally, yeah, I have the debug console of Matomo available now directly on SharePoint. This is really cool because as soon as you have this console, you can do almost everything. You can just ensure that your trigger is correctly mapped, and you can be just ensure that any kind of data layer, everything is okay on your configuration. So I just have a first demo, and after that we go ahead and the configuration of my tag manager and my websites. So here, for example, I should see one paper, yes. So it's working very well. So normally, yes, my current extension is working directly on this SharePoint site collection only. What is important to note here, I will show you just some information that I already catch yesterday, just for some tests. Any kind of event I can get. So it's important to notice that basically, if you want to catch additional information, you have to have a lot of knowledge about the UI of SharePoint. This is why I will just show you today, and how you can take advantage of the UI configuration that Microsoft is providing through the SharePoint UI. So here, nothing special. It's only you can directly go on the visit log. So you can have, as you can see, I already catch the site search. I will see how it works. This is really easy, and I already have some different kind of event. So this is, I think, the most important part. That means, thanks to Tag Manager, you will be able to track different kind of events without any additional development through SPFX. That means my extension should be still very simple. And if you just transfer the information from Microsoft to Matomo, and after that you have to handle the information directly from different kind of variables. So it's exactly where we are going now on the Tag Manager interface. And here we go. So what is the most important thing for beginning? For sure, this is a variable. So you have to create your Matomo configuration. So I think I don't learn anything to some of you. So you just have to mention your configuration, your website. Yes, you enable link tracking. This is the most important thing. You can enable JavaScript error tracking. I do not recommend to check this case now, this checkbox, because unfortunately, through the SharePoint UI, you have a lot of JavaScript error automatically handled by Microsoft. So if you don't want a lot of noise on your KPI, I recommend you to do not check this checkbox. Yeah, every time if you want, track all of content impression, track visibility. Yes, do not disable the cookies because Microsoft is working mainly on it. So this is the most important thing that you have to configure for the tracking. Configuration. So that's not enough because once you do this, the only thing that you can do directly here is you can have the page view. The page view is already working directly, so you just have to mention in Matomo analytics here and tracking page view, page title, page URL, and you just have this trigger that already did trigger here. Blah blah blah. No trigger. Oh. Something is this for me. I don't know why. We'll see trigger. Yeah. Page view. This is the name of my trigger, and because you have one thing, most important thing is by default the extension send an event directly on the send data layer. This is a virtual page view. Why? Because when you are just browsing through the different page of SharePoint Online, maybe you already noticed that your page does not totally refreshed. That means this is a partial refresh of the page. So you Microsoft specifies brand bar and any kind of navigation does not refresh when you are going on one page on another one, or if you are performing a search. This is the most thing. If you're just doing this, you are not totally refreshed. This is a partial, because as soon as I just did this, not everything is reload. So this is a virtual page view. This is the most important thing. So not because I did it, I just go to our website and just check if I get time. Yeah, not yet, because I just refresh totally. And because moreover, did I lose it? Nope, during the search maybe. Let me check just one thing. Yeah, because I noticed, yeah, this is one thing, but the search is working. I will show you how it works later. But this is mainly because I'm just in debugging mode with Matomo, and I'm losing here the MTM preview mode. But I will show you exactly how it works. So with this information in mind, what is the next most important thing here that you have to know? So what kind of information that you want to have on your SharePoint? Maybe someone have any idea of what kind of KPI that is interesting for you to have directly from SharePoint?
There's currently no questions dealing with the KPI part, Laurent.
Okay, understood. Mainly, all of my clients today want to know exactly who is downloaded what kind of file. So this is something that's quite complicated, because when you are going on SharePoint and directly in the site content, if someone go, for example, in the document library and check and want to download this file, just like this, and I click on download, I can download it. I don't have any restriction about that, but you don't have any information directly on the file of who downloaded the file or how many times the file was downloaded by one people or another kind of people. So this is one, for example, of KPI. And other kind of KPI that a lot of clients is asking is who decide to share the file. So this part is quite complicated, because it's not just the action of the click of sharing, because you have to fill out the form here, or with who you want to share the information and send the link. And this is not because you send the link that the sharing is done. So this is just a parenthesis, because it is quite more complicated. But if you want to have information about the copy link, or if someone chooses to delete a file or rename a file, or any kind of these actions that you can have directly through a SharePoint library, this is this kind of information, KPI, that some client want to know, because this is mainly the usage and the, as I mentioned previously, the user that be able to handle and manage your SharePoint directly. So how you can do this? How I structure the SharePoint library, and mainly this kind of view. You have here, I will go just in debug mode. If I choose to check how we can download this file, so what is this action in HTML? So this action is, just push it. is mainly a label, and after that, the action is the magic trip here. If you are habit to create some test use case, unit test or end-to-end test in your different kind of website. For example, you should have the habit to have a data dash uh, unit test or something like this with an action. And this is exactly what Microsoft is providing to us. For any kind of action here, a button with the name, and you have a data automation ID. This is a key of how you can handle the action of SharePoint. For example, here for any kind of action, for example, favorites, you have an automation ID that follow command. For rename, if you want to know if someone chooses to rename a file, rename command, everything like this, etc., etc. Any kind of command, you can have exactly this information. So the only thing that you have to do through Tag Manager is handle this information after that. So how it works. I already create script, so I will share this script on my blog sooner or later before the Christmas. This is the U variable. The most important variable is here SharePoint automation ID. It is a pure JavaScript that just inject in through Tag Manager directly on SharePoint. This is the powerful Tag Manager. This is why I love Tag Manager, mainly with Matomo. This is really interesting that you can directly inject some JavaScript, and after that, I can catch any kind of click event, click element, and I just have to, as I mentioned, as I show you on the structure of HTML, how I can get this button automation ID. This is not really complicated, but it's not really easy too, because when I'm clicking on download, this is not the action button that you're clicking. Mainly you are just clicking on the span or div or directly on the label. So the only thing that I found to be able to get this information is by just create a recurring function, and this is it. So for any kind of element clicked on Tag Manager, because I'm just getting off the trigger of the click element, I will have the opportunity to check if this is a button. If not, I'll go to the recursion. But because as you can see here, I have a hierarchy, a depth of 3 level. Normally 5, it should be sufficient. All of my tests prove it. Currently, I don't have any kind of tricky part. So 5, this is the deep dive that you can have on HTML structure of depth of elements. So if the first click, it should be the span, you have to go on the parent element. Parent element should be not the button, so it should be the div. So the div, go back to the recurring, and now you should be to the button. So the button is it. So what I have to do is just return the result. So because I want the string of the automation ID here. Now I will be able to catch any kind of button clicked by the user and get if I have an automation ID. And if it's the case, all of the rest, no, sorry, this is what I want to do. All of the rest is really easy now, because when here you are, you just have to create a trigger for all command download. And that's what I want to do, is just edit it, create a command download. You just have to catch you SharePoint automation ID variable, and we want to download command. This is a value that you want to get to be able to check if this is a download action or not. Here we just for as remember a reminder. Download. Here, this is download command that you want to have here. And here I have exactly the same one with command 2 with a different kind of verb, but this is done on command. So the only thing that if you want to have a distinction, a difference between the contextual menu, or if you want directly the shortcut quick bar directly on SharePoint, just have to get what is the parent first, and after that you can have directly the rule, and you can know if this is a contextual menu or directly the command bar. So now, with this information in mind, I just go back to my I will just go launch back my debug mode. Let's do this because here currently I'm just working directly in development. I go back to the content. Talking directly here. I will just take the URL for my web port. If you let me go enough. Yeah, here. I want debug, blah, blah, blah. At the end, here. And now I should be able to have, whoopla, what I missed, debug with the question mark, load scripts. Yeah, sounds good. Now I want the preview. Blah, 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 blah. You want to come in? Me? Come. Okay, sometimes I have this kind of tricky part. It's not a big deal. This is demo effects. Observe again. Okay, perfect. Load. Now let's go back to Matomo again. No, let's just go back to this debug contents documents, and now this. Okay, I should be able to go back to my preview mode. Here we go. So I'm again in debug mode directly on my environment here. So first of all, if I want to perform a search, which is the first action just I mentioned you previously, if I want any kind of information of the search, because this is a search here, I can directly enter here. As you can see here, I have some element click or something like this, but doesn't matter because this is something directly from the Q URL that you can catch and determine that this is a search request. So for if I go in here, real time, and this is a demo effect. Yes, I love it. Why does not? Oh, maybe because I'm clicking up here. Should directly here. Okay, I did it yesterday. Okay, sure, this is everything is here. Okay, that's correct. Okay, just because I just edited something yesterday on my site, and I'm pretty sure he's not happy with this. Yes, as you can see here, a lot of these kind of JavaScript error are mainly due to SharePoint error, not necessarily the container one, because here I have some error, but mainly to lowercase. Yeah, this is container. Okay. I have some error on my script. Maybe I did something yesterday, but something should go well. Okay. So now what I have to want to do is I will hope that just is working now because I already catch the download mode. So now if I just go to download, I should be able to get, yeah, fire this tag. SharePoint download of a limit item PHP. So now if I go here, I should have an event such as download. Oh, it works. This is really easy now. Go back to my variable. So as I mentioned here, I just create an automation ID. This automation ID script allow you to detect any kind of automation ID action performed by directly triggered by a user by clicking on the button. And after that, how I can trigger it is directly with any kind of click element and use it automation ID to get the information. The tag is really easy too. You have to have an event, any kind of click, download, and I will show you the selected item after that. Create an action here, and you command download. So now you will be able to get any kind of download action. But now, maybe as you already show here, when I'm just getting the information from the download, I will go to Sittler. It's easier for get information. Here, as you can see here, I am able to get the file name. So this is another tricky JavaScript fix, how I can do it. So, such as a variable of the get automation ID, I have to create a SharePoint selected item, because when you are just clicking on the contextual menu, as you maybe noticed already, once you are doing this, you are automatically selecting the item. So for sure, by SharePoint, if you're not selecting item, some of information are not available. So if I'm doing this directly, I will be able to get the whole folder Matomo. And if I'm selecting a file or multiple file here, if I'm just clicking on here, I'm able to get what are the selected item on my SharePoint list. So just to get it, this is another JavaScript script. This one is a little bit more complicated, but in the fact it's quite easy because you have a grid. This grid, we're getting any kind of element with a class, CSS class selected. And for all of them, I will be able to merge directly from the one string separated by some comma. And at the end, I will just return this information on the variable. So now, thanks to this, that means when I'm getting the information, when I'm getting the trigger of download, and go back to the tag here, which is the most important part here, is you have to get what are the selected items. So this is directly with JavaScript script. So once done, I will be able to get this information. So maybe I have enough time. I will just check with you how we can get another kind of command ID. So I just want to know if anyone have any question yet before I'm just getting on the next, the final part of my demo. 1, 2.
No, there's no questions. Laurent, I guess the reason is that because this is a very specific topic, but don't worry, I will make some questions at the end of the talk.
Okay. So how we can get another kind of information? Because this is an automation ID action that you can get when you're just clicking on something. So maybe the next most important thing is maybe why not to get the delete action. So to do this, we will get in the contextual menu directly from here, what is the delete automation ID? Here, this is delete command. So with all this information in mind, I will be able to create a new trigger. Rather than getting this command download, I will be able to create a command delete, for example. I prefer we use directly the Microsoft delete command. Command delete. Okay, I just reverse. Command delete. I will use my SharePoint automation ID here equals to, I just prefer get a copy paste rather than just writing it directly to avoid any kind of error. Create a new trigger. Go back to tags. Here, I just mentioned MA for Matomo Analytics. Here we see SharePoint delete. This is an event. Event category, this is a click. Action is a delete. Value is 1, and here I will get the selected item. and should be enough. Oh, no, because I just forget this one. Command delete, yes. And now, if I'm just trying to create a new file, any kind of different kind of file, whatever, I want one. Let's rename it. That's it. Refresh. Hello world. So now I'm giving it delete action. So now I already click on it. So this is the tricky part too, because it's not so easy. Once you get the delete action, you have a modal dialog that just requests you if you're sure to want to delete. This is quite new, to be honest. I didn't get this. This is, a, this is not the best example that I can do during the demo, because this is quite something new on SharePoint. Now it's just asking you if you are sure you want to delete the files. This modal dialog does not exist previously. So normally, if you are based on current version of SharePoint, you should be able to have a delete action. Whoop, that's 26 over action. Yeah, a lot of error. Okay, I will go directly on the behavior and get what kind of event. Click, download it, no. Okay, what's wrong? Add file. Go back here. Event, Matomo, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Automation ID. She's very, did not catch directly my. Maybe it was the worst demo example I can do because this is due maybe to this one. So just go back to grid. Maybe it's something really easier. I'll just get back here. So there's some console on my debug mode. Div. Clear here. I want to delete it. Bim. Yeah, he has it. Delete command. So you get it. So yeah, the JSON is not a big deal with that. Or maybe I'm just missing something. So sometimes I don't know why. Maybe you are better than me on Matomo mainly. Sometimes I just have to go back to Tag Manager, disable preview, re-enable it, and sometimes you even get back correctly. I don't know if this case, but for sure my command ID works well because it just returns what kind of events, custom event I want to have here. So everything is okay on the script, but not on Matomo. So maybe I will just go back to disable preview and enable it again. Check if maybe this is it. Blah, blah, blah. Once again, delete. Bim, action was done. Not the button is correct, and here everything should be okay. And now go back to the site. Have your event. Nope. Okay, I missed something. Sorry for the demo effect, but delete, that's correct. Command delete, yeah. My trigger is here. Yep. I will put filter. The filter is a good one. Just checking that everything is okay. So this is delete command. And here, just be sure that it does not miss something. SharePoint automation ID equals, that's correct. It's automation equals to delete command. This is clearly a delete command for sure. Delete command. Here's it. I have variable, that's okay. I don't need any more. That's funny. Even click delete. Need them, yes. Checking that didn't miss something. Even click download. This is my action here. Item configuration is a good one. And command download, yeah. Do I miss something else? I have only one configuration. Click delete. Command delete. I will check just something for fun. I will use download one just to be sure that something is missing. Delete, the action was done. Command delete. Yeah, it's already here correctly. Okay, so I will not lose more time about this, but the fact is, with the command ID, this is your key to be able to get any kind of event, and included if you have a page, just go back to the home page without Matomo Tag Manager enabled, but any kind of action that you have here. So that means, you can get when someone is creating a new page or someone just get page detail here. As you can see here, command action, this is a new page in home. So thanks to this command ID, you will be able to ensure that the user is using correctly your SharePoint environment. And most over, this is the adoption of your tools of SharePoint. If you have an intranet, you have some different kind of SharePoint side projects, and you want to be sure that anyone is using the correct command, and maybe something very special, if you're even you develop your own command, I recommend you to use not automation ID for sure, but maybe tracking ID that you are using directly on your own web parts. So in addition to this, one more thing, because you are in a SharePoint page, so that means you will be able to get different kind of button action. So if you have different kind of page and you want to get information on which user click on this button directly, you will be able, thanks to the automation ID, to get directly the split button primary, and you have a lot of automation ID. So maybe in my next blog site, blog post, I will share a maximum of automation, the ID that you can find directly on the SharePoint UI environment. Thanks to this, you will be able to create directly some function. And as I should just show you, sorry for the demo effect, so it should works normally. As many as I know, I should be able to get the good event. For any reason, maybe I have an error on my JavaScript because I just changed something yesterday, and hey, even click delete. Oh no, you get it. Sorry, you got it. Okay, it works. Sorry, I don't know why it was not in the event. Okay, so I didn't check the good part, but for sure it works. So that's a good thing. I was sure. Click here, delete event for. So as you can see here, my solution works. So it just a misunderstanding with the interface, but click delete event and you will be able to get what is the file was just deleted by the final users. So I think this is it for my demo. I show everything. So the only thing that I just can mention anyway is with SPFX extension will be available next month, because this is I will not have enough time to release a first version for November, but for sure for December I will be able to release a version of this SPFX extension, and after that I will share in my blog. See if you want to get it in the future, you just keep a track on it. This is blog.lsonline.fr. You will be able to get the new about Matomo Tag Manager with SharePoint very soon. And you will have a first introduction of my script. So I will directly share my JavaScript script that you have to just put in your variable or trigger. And I think I will create one blog post per kind of action that you want to perform directly on SharePoint. That will include different kind of tricky part when you have to check final delete action and something like this. I will handle it in the future. So if you have no more question, and if everything is okay for you, I think I finish my presentation. So if you want, back to you, Renan.
Thank you very much, Laurent. So, as previously mentioned, unfortunately, we don't have any questions because that's a topic which is highly specific. But there's one good reason why I asked you to come, Laurent, is that I know that this is a niche market, but this is a very, very profitable market. And I would like to know, in fact, how difficult it is to build up the, let's say, module or app, I don't know how you want to call it, that you made, because I had the feeling that from the work that you provided and from the debug part that you are doing, that in all cases, that's not for a traditional web analyst to perform the given task in terms of debug and measurement plan implementation for Microsoft SharePoint.
Okay, the question is it is very difficult or not? Okay, I think there are two parts on it. For this package, it is really easy to deploy it on SharePoint directly, because we will have just one file. This is a SPPKG that you just have to deploy on your SharePoint. So that can be the SharePoint site or the whole site collection on your tenant. When it's done, the only thing is data analytics. So as you mentioned, it's not a standard, a basic analytics, because you have to know the SharePoint environment, mainly the UI. So this is why I will share as soon as possible additional information. But if you take all of my information, if you want to get this kind of action, you just have to deploy the package. You need the configuration to get any kind of command automation ID, and just have to enjoy and just specify which kind of command you want to get. And this is just for the command. For sure, if you have a specific action, for example, if you have deploy your own web port component, or if you deploy your own extension or whatever, this is totally customized, and you want to get this information, you have to check the HTML directly and create your own function to be able to get enough information and determine which is the action that the user just performed. So, for example, something I didn't get yet, if you want to get to the settings, site settings, I didn't check if, for example, someone is just clicking on the library settings, because many of my clients yet didn't ask me to have this information. The primary information is what kind of command. Moreover, just one last thing, because I just mentioned you can develop your own customization. You can deploy a web port. You can develop a web port. You can develop an extension such as the SPFX SharePoint Tag Manager that just deployed, and you can create your own custom action here. So any kind of action that you can see here, you can create your own one. So if you want to check if your user is using it, if something useful, you can directly use this method and get the automation ID.
Okay. Just to be sure, so the module that you're going to release will be for free?
Yep, open source.
Okay, is it because you are a community lover, or is it because in all cases, in order to add anything in plus, people will need your contribution?
I trust on the open source solutions. For sure, someone I'm pretty sure will take this solution and maybe create a commercial part. Why not? So no big deal with that. As you can see, you have a lot of maybe C or not, but on SharePoint community, on Microsoft One, most mainly, they have a lot of developers that love to share any kind of information and any kind of development. So I'm this kind of developer. I prefer to share something open source, and if someone have any kind of need help for anything, the community and myself will be able to take the point. So as soon as the solution will be open source, if some people are really interested on this solution, automatically I'm pretty sure a lot of people will try and get new use case and get something is missing and improve the solution in the future for everyone at the same time, and will be able to take any kind of question even if I'm not here anymore. So this is a win-win for everyone, for the organization and for different kind of developer, and for Matomo too, because as soon as the extension is available, will be available, a lot of users that already using Microsoft will be able to get this information. Because as you mentioned, it's not a niche development, because I don't know how many organizations in Europe today is using Microsoft, but this is something that quite common now. A lot of organizations are using Microsoft 365 environment because this is quite easy and you can have a lot of security and privacy. And just one thing is missing. This is the reports. So this is why Matomo can be a good thing to add these capabilities.
Okay. Maybe more from the commercial aspect. So first of all, if someone wants to, let's say, deploy Matomo on Microsoft SharePoint Analytics, but does not want to take care at all about it, is it that kind of services that you are providing? Or maybe can you explain us a little bit more, where do your services stop? What type of Matomo analytics services are you providing, Laurent?
Yeah. Um, I can provide for free basic information because this is mainly I'm just sharing some links. For example, if someone just asks me, "Oh, I can install this PPKG," or what are the basic configuration to implement in Tag Manager and Matomo to be able to get the basic information, all of these things will be mainly shared through my blog post. So I don't have to provide something else. And if you have any questions through my GitHub or GitLab repository, I will just share this information. And if one question is recursive, or I can see a lot of people ask me the same thing, I will automatically write a blog post to be able to share the same information for everyone. So it's mainly for basic information if an organization wants to do it itself. But if, as you mentioned, an organization don't want to have to handle or configure or maintain the solution on their environment, I'm working for a company, as mentioned, Sword Group. This is a service company. So that will be quite easy if you ask me if an organization wants some hour or some expertise, how they can be able to implement this solution. I will be able, because I'm practice manager too, I will be able to get the point and deal with a code and be able to install everything on the client environment directly.
Okay. Okay, so we can refer to you if, for example, some people have some needs when it comes to Microsoft SharePoint Analytics with Matomo. Am I correct?
Yeah, do not hesitate.
Okay, and you are also what we call an integrator, so to say someone who developed the technology, and then people can use this technology in order to deploy already the project based on, let's say, open source education, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Just looking at potential questions within the chat. There's no question. Jessica is saying hi and congratulations for your conference. And same thing here from my side. Just would like to say once more, thank you, Laurent, for your contribution. So as Jessica for this year for coming at Matomo Camp and representing somehow the Northern American part of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ronan, and thank you for your invitation. It was a pleasure. I hope I will be for the next time.
My pleasure.